Oh, hello. A couple things have happened, which is interesting. I did my first Wardley Map Roast last night, and I ended up recording about an hour and 20 minutes on someone's map. I'm aiming to keep it shorter, closer to like 20, maybe 30 minutes if I want to go over. But in this case, I just had trouble stopping because I was excited and I was having fun. And just to be very clear, the roast was not like mean. It was fair, I think, in its criticism and also just generally more positive and supportive, hopefully pointing in interesting new directions, things to think about, and so on. So what I'm hoping will happen is I'll be able to do a follow-up call with the person who I did the critique for, hear some feedback, learn some things, and maybe I'll even ask for a testimonial depending on how things go. So that's an interesting development. I'm very excited about that. Oh, by the way, forgive the formal wear. Well, not quite formal wear, but you know what I mean. I just made a video for an enterprise lead who inquired about Wardley mapping workshops, and so I made a quick little 2-minute video to introduce myself in response to that inquiry. So, want to give you what you get whenever you run a workshop with me. So that's what I was up to there. But what we're going to do now is what we didn't have time to do on Sunday, which during our test review, we did not have the chance to write the test for Wardley Mapping Roast Part 2. And I'm going to do that with you now. So follow along for fun. So the first thing is we've learned some things from both the last test we ran. I think it was, here, 112. Mostly that we can keep going, that we find it valuable, that we find it fun, that people might even be interested in it. So that's interesting. So what am I doing now? I'm doubling down, right? I'm going to explore this even more. And I think one of the missing pieces to facilitate this interest is a very basic landing page. Not a lot of information, just the bare minimum to show that it's an offer and that you can buy it. So basic promise and then a button. So I think what I need to do is make the most basic of landing pages for the Wardley Mapping Roast. And I think that's going to mean that I have to come up with a different name than the roast, because it's not a roast, really. It doesn't quite fit. It is more of a supportive, like, coaching call of sorts, but asynchronous. So we have to figure that out. Why does making a landing page make sense? Well, we want to explore this offer more. And I think in order to test it more thoroughly, we need to show it to a larger audience. So yeah, I'll test it first with the small group of people who have indicated interest. I have them separated on the mailing list, so I can just send something to them, and they can be my initial audience. But I also want to share it with the rest of the list generally, and see what happens and see whether there's any uptake there. I have some suspicions that making them send me a map might lower the likelihood that they'll engage with me. So maybe one of the upcoming kind of pivot points I can think about is, do I really want to stick with roasting a map itself, or do I want to broaden back to what I was originally thinking, which was like roasting a strategy or critiquing a strategy? And then what I would just do is ask Wardley mapping based questions in the intake form, and then they would either have answers to those or they wouldn't, and I could critique those answers and then use Wardley maps as kind of like a way of going deeper with that stuff. I don't know. So I'm just envisioning kind of what's out here in the future. We'll see. I will say that I've been having fun with it, so that's good news. All right, what's the plan? Well, I guess to finish that out, why does that make sense? We want to explore this offer more with more people. And a landing page is easier to understand, hypothetically. The pitch is clearer than what I was doing before. Oh, but wait a minute. Do I really need a landing page? No. We don't need a landing page yet. Okay, here's what I'm going to do instead. I just said that I wanted to test this more and that I needed a basic landing page in order to do that. And then I just articulated to you a bunch of reasons why I don't need a landing page. Basically is like, I'm just going to use email. So, okay, starting over. That's a good realization. This is why I like talking to you, because when I have to say it out loud, sometimes I realize how silly it is. Okay, so the test here is not to make a landing page and see what happens there. The test is to make a clearer offer to a larger group of people. So far, I've offered it mostly to event attendees and some folks who like did the giveaway with me for feedback. That's a very small set of people. Okay, so I could make the same offer to a larger group of people on the whole mailing list. And yeah, maybe do a little bit of cleaning up of the offer, a little bit, getting a little more clear about what it involves, what it's like, etc., especially now that I've done one. So, okay, the test is to make a clear offer and to see whether, make a clear offer to more people and see whether they engage. Okay, clear offer to more people. Great. Why that makes sense? Let's see, what's the rationale again? The test so far has been small scale. I've done one now. Let's see if more people are interested. Okay, so plan. I need to write an email with the offer, and that's going to give me that's probably where a lot of the uncertainty is like, how do I write the copy for the offer? What is this really? So I'm going to reference some of the other like roast services that I've seen out there, what they promise, what they do, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to write the email to with the new offer. I'm going to send to the interest list, and then send to main list. Is that too quick? Actually, no. To make this work for me, I'm going to have to increase the price. Okay, so it's going to be low price for the folks on the interest list, and then I'm going to have to increase the price in order to prevent my time from getting overrun. Okay, so it's low cost for the interest list. It is slightly more expensive as we go to the wider list. And I'm still going to do a thing where if you're comfortable with it being shared publicly, then I'll do it for cheap or free. So I'll figure out what that looks like. So write an email with the offer, send to interest list. That will get us information and feedback. And then we can send to the main list at a different price point. Okay. How am I going to handle payment and the free thing? Okay, I'll just handle the free thing as like a manual thing. Just like reply and I'll do it with you. I think that's the easier way to do it. And I already have Stripe set up for the product. And so basically the email is the landing page that I'm writing in simplest terms. And if you click through, that means you've already made the decision to buy. Okay. Neat. Now we go on to expected results. Okay, we have 2 emails that we're trying to track. First one is with the interest list, and there are 8 people on the interest list. So I'm guessing, let's say 50% open rate, so 4 open, 1 clicks, 0 buys. Buy or reply. I just think the offer was too ambiguous when I made it. So not enough people signed up for the interest list, but who knows, maybe I'll get some signal before I go wide with it. Okay, and then the other angle on this is the larger list of everybody. And let's see, we have 2,600 people there. And again, let's just assume like a 50% open rate. That's about what I get when I send things out to the full list. That's 1,300. 1,300 opens. And other offers I've made in the past have like a 3 or 4% click rate, which could be like really good, all things considered. So let's just assume that 4% click of the 1,300 that open, and that's like 52 people. So 52 clicks, and that's enough clicks that maybe someone would buy. I'm gonna have to assume like a 1% conversion, generally speaking. So I think one will buy. Boy, when you put it in those terms, it's really depressing. But actually, here's what I think is going to happen. And maybe I should write this here. Like, my actual prediction is that I'm going to get not enough signal, low interest, and I'm going to have to change the offer to something slightly like what I really, really want to do now that I'm thinking about it is I want to ask the basic Wardley mapping questions. Like, who are your users? What are their needs? What are the different activities that go into fulfilling those needs? What else is there? What's missing? Okay, does it look like this? Great. That kind of thing is probably more closely matched to where most people on my list are. I don't know. I'm going to learn something, but I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to let the data tell me. So that's why I shouldn't go to the effort of making a landing page because, I mean, I don't know anything yet. So, all right. Well, this part of it isn't super falsifiable. The clicks and opens and purchases are. So I feel good about that. Time span, I can run this in about a week for sure. And checking in on my feelings beforehand, I'm feeling maybe a little less excitement than I was before because I'm actually thinking through like what would have to be true for this to work and like what working even means. So I'm feeling a little bit skeptical. And I kind of want to just get the results and see if it's worth doing. This service is paid, so there's some money coming in. It's supposed to be really entry level. I do enjoy it, and I do get to help people, and it's coherent with my mission. Yeah, I can run this in a week, so it's really quick. So that is me planning this test. I guess what'll happen next is I'll send an email. So if you get an email soon, you'll know what happened. Okay, that's me planning this test. Let me know if you think I missed something or if I thought through these things in like an incorrect way. If I have an assumption that needs to be checked. Always super interested to hear from you about that kind of stuff. Kind critique is always welcome in the comment section. So thank you and have a great day. Bye.